You not ready? It's a lot.
I hit it, but it shows my face.
Oh, okay. I see you now. It's started. So, yeah. You look pretty on the TV.
I know, but it's like I don't have a, I don't have on a shirt.
Oh,
So how do I stop it? But thank you though. How do I stop it? I don't want to do this. Okay, wait a minute. Close. It's still going. This is so funny. This is not what I wanted. This is not.
I know. Put like a piece of tape or something up there.
Okay.
Put like a piece of paper or something that cover up your camera.
All right. And then we're gonna keep going. All right. So you still see me?
Hold on, let me go. Oh, probably because I'm on the actual page.
All right, there we go. Now, I wonder if there's a way to put it. Can you hear me talking?
I can hear you talking, yeah.
Let me put the disclaimer right there.
Oh, now, yeah. It's showing live on the thing. Oh, now, yeah. It's showing live on the thing. Oh, now, yeah.
I'm trying to upload a picture. Oh, I'm just keep going. Okay, I'm hanging up.
Okay.
Okay, can everybody hear me okay? Type of one in the chat if you can hear me okay. And we have 2 people. That was a faux pas, you guys. Hey, Steph. Hey, it's me, Steph. Thank you for the 1. In the chat, are there any others? It looks like it's only 2 people now. But we are going to get started. And I am going to go over the disclaimer. And here is our disclaimer. The concept on Unfiltered Hearts is intended for emotional and entertainment purposes only. Rachel and Rebecca are not licensed relationship therapists, counselors, or mental health professionals. The advice and opinion shared on this channel are based on personal experiences, research, and general knowledge. For professional support regarding mental health, relationships, or other personal matters, Rebecca and Rachel encourage you to seek guidance from a licensed therapist or counselor. Always make decisions that are best suited to your individual circumstances. So there it is. That is our disclaimer. So I only see one person, and where did the other person go? So we're going to get started. So it all started with the letter. That was the thumbnail that you saw. And I was trying to get a picture up here on the screen so you just won't be looking at this red screen. But I guess it's not too bad. So the first letter that came across our pipeline has to deal with a relationship between 2 people. Okay? And I'm going to share this letter with you all. It came in anonymously. So therefore, the 2 people are remaining confidential. If you have letters that have been coming through, it is okay to not put a name or even a face to the letters. So it all started with one letter. And I'm going to share that with you. And I am your speaking host for today. And my name is Mia. So we received, Rachel and Rebecca, and I'm on their team, received a letter dated in October. It says, Dear Rachel and Rebecca, I have been trying to find the right words to express with my partner about the mess that we find ourselves in. And it's getting harder and harder. So I'm reaching out to you all to help me detangle this mess. I would like you to know, Rachel and Rebecca, that it's not easy and it's not a healthy relationship that we are caught up in. And in writing this letter to you all for advice, I don't even know where to start. So we're going to just stop right there and take a brief pause. And I'm going to do a brief summary. So, an anonymous letter came through asking for relationship advice. Rachel and Rebecca are the heads and founders of Unfiltered Hearts. And it is in their motto where they want us to know that relationships can be messy. And they're mentioning all types of relationships, not just romantic relationships, but they're also mentioning work relationships, other other relationships where our family, between families. And I like to say, and I'm Mia, and I am the host, and they didn't add this in there. Also, the relationship with ourselves. Because the relationship that we have with ourselves has to do a lot with how we relate to others. Can I get some feedback on that before we go on with the rest of the letter? Type in the chat, how was your relationship with yourself? I'm going to wait. I wish we had some music to play, but we don't right now. This is our first time going live. And we have Rachel and Rebecca there in the studio with us. So we're going to move right along. So the person that is asking for advice in an anonymous letter says that it's hard to pinpoint where everything started to go downhill. I'm not sure whether this is an anonymous letter, so I'm not sure whether it's a woman writing a letter or a man writing a letter, because it is anonymous. I just want to ask real quick, am I coming through clearly? Am I coming through clearly? I'm not sure. Can someone let me know, am I coming through clearly? I'm about to pound the giggles. Let's see. Type a number 2 in the chat if I'm coming through clearly. Just know, so we have our moderator here. Just know that your relationship with yourself will dictate the type of relationship you give to others. And that is so on point. That is so on point. Thank you, moderator. I gotta figure out how to make you a moderator. La 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 la. I'm gonna pin this message. And I am going to add you as a moderator. Gives me two choices. A managing moderator can manage block words and change chat modes in a live, and also has the capability of standard moderators. So that's what we're going to choose. Okay. It's me, Steph. You are now the moderator. And she made a very, very good point. Just know that our relationship with ourselves dictates the type of relationship that we have with others. So back to the anonymous letter. And I would just like to say to the person that sent this letter, if you are listening, which I hope that you are, and I'm assuming that you are, we will delve more in depth and reach out to you because you did leave us some information on how to reach you, even though it's anonymous. Okay, so this anonymous person, we don't know whether it's a man or a woman, but that's beside the point, reached out to Rachel and Rebecca, our relationship advisors. And then, as in the disclaimer, they are not licensed. Okay. So our anonymous writer finds that it is hard to pinpoint where everything started to go downhill. It is written that in here in the letter that at first everything felt so right, and we understand how that can be. And the person goes on to say we understood each other on a deeper level. And we realize that too. I think all of us have been there. I have been there as your host. Mia is my name for later reference. So she goes on to say, I'm jumping on down through the parts of the letter, that there remains a back and forth tension that never seems to go away. The anonymous writer goes on to say that 1 minute we're fine and the next minute we're throwing knives at each other. And it has been exhausting, which we all can agree. It's exhausting. And what is needed is some type of relief. Hence, she sent the anonymous letter. Okay, we have a word from our moderator. I guess you all can see it in the chat, but I will read it. Most relationships start out right, especially the ones we deem to be romantic. And that is a thing. That is a real thing. And rightfully so. Like at the start of a relationship, everything is peachy, kingy. And then we don't know at the time where we hit that wall, but we do hit a wall. And if communication is not there, it can be very exhausting as we see that our anonymous, we're going to say friend here, anonymous friend, is speaking about today and asking Rachel and Rebecca advice. And here's the weird thing. She goes on to he or she, I'm just saying she because I'm a woman, so I'm going to say she. However, this person, we're going to keep it grammatically, I guess, for an anonymous letter. We don't know. This person goes on to say that they feel addicted to the drama. That's a good one there. Being addicted to the drama, where it's almost like a drug. Very hard to shake. The drama. And then the person goes on to say, maybe we just don't like each other anymore. That can happen. Here's where it gets kind of juicy. She says to Rebecca and Rachel that they're not sure if they're holding on because they love each other, but holding on because of the fear of letting go. Now, I'm going to pause right there. Pause right there. Fear of letting go, fear of the unknown is a thing. It's a thing. Being fearful of letting go of the past and moving on, stepping out to the future. Because believe it or not, sometimes you can step out to the future and it's not exactly how you want it. And then you just go back and you reevaluate. Interesting enough, she says the writer just said he or she just doesn't know, and they feel stuck. Stuck. Is anybody relating to this? Is anybody relating to this? So we're gonna take a little break, and we're gonna let our chat let us know if you want more of this or less. We can always pivot and talk about something else. Moderator, more or less. We can keep going with this letter. And Rachel and Rebecca have read the letter. They have their opinions that are going to be shared at a later date. So you'll come back so you can see and hear Rachel and Rebecca's advice. I'm privy to that information, and they're going to get down to the nitty gritty of this all. So I'm going to keep going. The writer continues to say, there's a constant cycle of making up, feeling hopeful, and then falling back into the same patterns. That's deep. Everybody still with me? The writer goes on to say the trust that they used to have is just not there anymore. And what they are going through is slowly killing them as a two. So, if this is resonating with someone, you can drop a comment. You don't have to drop it today. I'm sure that Rachel and Rebecca would love to see the comments, and they'll be reading the comments in the comment section before they come back with their advice letters, which is already in place, and it's going to be good. It's going to be helpful. It's going to be juicy and all the things. So the writer goes on to say that they're tired. They're just tired. They're tired of the constant ups and downs. There's doubt going. Oh, my little sticker fell off. No sticker. I want to keep going. We have our moderators at this time then saying that feeling stuck And a relationship could be due to unprocessed fear. Yeah, I agree. Fear of the unknown. Even if the unknown looks promising, even if the unknown looks better, feels better than the current situation, there's some fear that comes up, right? Hopefully, during the next lab, I will figure out a way to put a picture up here because when the sticker falls down and you see me, and I just really kind of like wanted to stay off camera because I'm looking for the TikTok that you. Did I just say that? I'm looking for YouTube that you can do these faceless type of deals for content. So I know I'm gonna rewatch this. I'm gonna have a good time. My only concern is that Rachel and Rebecca are okay with the way that I hosted tonight. But we're gonna go on through. We're gonna go on through. We're gonna press through. So the writer goes on to say that he or she feels like they've reached a point where both are too wounded to make things right or even want to. That's that stuckness. The writer explains about being tired of the constant ups and downs, tired of pretending, missing the simplicity of how things used to be, not sure if they can go back that way. Like sometimes once it's done, it's done. Doubt about not feeling good enough for each other anymore. Maybe it's time to face the truth, and it's painful. The writer says they don't know, they don't want to keep hurting, and they don't want to keep feeling this way. She also expresses the love that she has and is wondering that if love is enough to fix all of this. If love is enough to fix all of this. Let's just stop right there for a minute. Let's talk about that. Sometimes love just ain't enough. With that comes open communication. And if it's just regular old love, that's gotta be more. Has to be more. We will talk about that later, I'm sure, in upcoming lives about love not being enough, whether it's in a relationship, a romantic relationship, whether it's even a job relationship, okay? Whether it's even in a family relationship, and even the relationships that we have with ourselves, which we have already determined that is the number one. We have to love ourselves first. I would say love God, self, and then the rest of humanity. It gets twisted, and therefore we get stuck, and therefore we get fearful. Okay? Not anymore, because we have Rachel and Rebecca to help us sort this out. And with this being our first live, our first letter, this is how it all started. We have more letters, but this was the first one. This is the first one. So we sat, Rachel and Rebecca and the team sat to see which letter we're going to showcase first. And this particular segment, we are talking about romantic relationships, ones that we have romantically with another. Okay? And there are a bunch of letters in the barrel. Some of them talk about, just giving a little preview, when is the best time to leave a certain situation like a job or to counsel a client or a customer just for peace of mind reasons. Okay, so we'll be touching on that as we go. Any questions so far? Anyone have anything to say in the chat? Please feel free to do so. And we are going to keep going Our moderator states here a healthy relationship requires more than just feelings. So, no, love should not be the sole reason to stay in a relationship. And are we talking about all the type of relationships? Are we talking about job relationships, client to client relationships, family and friends relationships? It's a whole lot of ships. And I just see these ships, just big ships, just ships. Sometimes maybe even called shit ships, shitter ships relationships. I think we are okay with saying that type of language on YouTube. I know there's a short that is on our channel where someone it could apply to all relationships. I agree. To all of those situationships. Wow, that's not. We're gonna say that, and we're gonna talk about some more ships. All the ships. I'm your host, Mia, and I thank you for joining. So we're gonna keep going, and I work alongside Rachel and Rebecca, and we are forming these lives, these YouTube lives. I said it right that time. I don't know. I'm going to wait for my report from the two ladies that you see in the bubble there. They'll let me know if we're on to something, if I need to fix something. Another thing, too, we will definitely have, if ships are not sailing, they're what? They're sinking. Guys, if ships are not sailing, they are sinking. And nobody wants to be in a sinking ship, right? I like to cruise. This is a little segue before we get back to the letter at hand. I do like to cruise. Y'all be doggone when you first go on a cruise, they're like telling you where to go in case there's an emergency, like a sinking ship, right? And they give us all these preparations and tell us where to go, tell us where to stand. They have us don the life jackets. They tell us where the little boats are on the ship. And they're quite tucked away, so you really don't even know that they're there, which is good. So while we're on this floating city that has everything, if that was to get into some type of emergency where it is sinking, I prefer to sail. That's just a little segue. So we're going to keep going. Thank you for that. It's me, Steph. Okay, I lost the letter, so I gotta find it again. So y'all bear with me while I find this letter again. Is everybody having a good time? I know this is some serious stuff that we are talking about here. And our experts, not licensed, but through experience, our two ladies are going to be coming back. They already have written the response to our live stream. And I'm excited. I already have peeped some of the information in there. And as I say, the disclaimer says, do what is best for you. They are not licensed. They are basing their experience and response to the letters that we get based on experiences. Now, together, they have a vast number of experience that they are sharing with the group. So, where do we go? Where do we stop? We reach a point where we are both too wounded to make things right, even if they wanted to. The ship is sinking, y'all. The ship is sinking. So he or she goes on to say they're tired. They're tired of the ups and downs. Okay. So it ends by saying, Well, before it closes, it talks about the love that is still there. And is it enough? And then it ends by saying, last paragraph here that we're on, with everything in mind, the writer says they needed to be honest and to reach out for help anonymously. The writer goes on to say, something has to change. They're not sure what. This can't keep going and going and going. The writer already knows that they deserve better, and even their partner deserves better. And if that means letting go, it's time to get off that sinking ship. And it says, sincerely, anonymous writer. So that's what we have. That's what we have for our first live. It all started with the letter. Continue to live peacefully, effectively, and get off the sinking ships. We will be back with Rachel and Rebecca's response. And in that response, they're going to give some good advice. And we want you to come back so that you can hear that. Also, drop, if you would like to, you can put your own comments. What do you think? What do you think that our anonymous writer should do? Should she stay? Should he or she stay? We don't know if it's a male or female. Should they stay on the ship even though it's sinking and not sailing? Or should they exit, put on the life jacket, and get into one of the little boats and have that boat take them back to shore? My name is Mia, and I work with Rachel and Rebecca. It has been my pleasure to share this letter with you all today. Thanks for staying. Thanks for hanging around. We're going to go now. I'm going to go now. I look forward to seeing you real soon, talking to you again real soon. And let's give it up for our moderator. It's me, Steph. Everybody, be blessed, be kind, be love. Good night.